So let me just start by saying these figures are awesome. I'm super excited with these. They're really great. I'm going to start here in the middle with the Blue Ranger from Dino Thunder. Ethan is looking fantastic. He's got this gigantic Triceratops shield, which is really nicely detailed and painted. Really impressed with this. And it just has a peg here for him to hold on to hold it as a shield. Here is the figure. And really nice paint applications. Again, I don't know why. It's the same thing I saw with the Lunar Wolf. All the morphers are these giant Mighty Morphin morphers with the lightning bolt. I'm assuming this is so that they can reuse arms. But then I see arms like Ninjors and Gabatero de Carnival over here. And it's like they have shoulder pads that are unique to them. So you would have had to make a unique arm anyway. So I'm not really sure why they did this. Maybe they just want to emphasize like they're all part of the same team, or so that the kids think they're all together. I don't know. I guess maybe because they're aimed at younger children. They don't want to complicate matters. I don't know. It's painted nicely. It's detailed nicely. The gold paint's sharp. The gold paint on the chest here looks great. The belt, all the white paint on the sides and the chest all looks really good. The helmet looks great. You have the nice silver trim there. And again, heads are on ball joints, so you get side to side, up and down. Normal shoulder swivel there, as well as a hinge and swivel. Wrist swivels 90 degrees in the waist. I'm not sure if all of these have magnets. I'll have to try it out later. I'll get the wolf back out and we'll try it out. I do kind of wish that these horns were painted silver as well. It's like my only complaint with this guy. And if you wanted to paint the eyes as well, would have been nice. But overall, very impressed with him. Let me show you guys how this works. This is the little Raptor Cycle. And this is so cool. I love the design of the Raptor face. Again, excellent paint applications. All looking very sharp. Very cool. All you do is push this up like that. And swivel this back. And if you want to just keep it as a Raptor Cycle, you can. But you can also take this and peg it in the top. And it will kind of fit over top. And now it is a Triceratops Cycle. And then you just take the figure and you put him on here. It's a little bit to get his feet to clear that hinge there, but it can be done. And then you can even bring the arms in. And because he has an arm swivel, you should be able to attach it to these handlebars. And there you go. You can actually ride the motorcycle. So I actually kind of like it just as a Raptor Cycle, because that is something that they had in the show. But I do appreciate the ability to put the shield on there as well. Maybe even just as storage while he's riding it around. But either way, that is really cool. And I absolutely love this set. It looks fantastic. Alright, so I put Ethan off to the side so we can focus on some of these other characters. The nice thing I will say is the 2-packs all come with weapons. So each character gets a unique weapon, which is really awesome. Here we have, and it's been a while since I've seen Dino Charge. I want to say, I don't remember the Green Ranger's name. I apologize. Feel free to yell at me in the comments below. I'm sure I'll come up with it in a minute. But again, excellent paint applications, front and back. Very sharp. The helmet, very nicely detailed. The red paint on the eyes. You have the shoulder articulation, the head's on a ball joint, wrist movement. There you go with the waist. So they pretty much have the same standard articulation across. Riley, right? That's his name. See, I knew I'd get it eventually. Here is the sword, which I think looks great. You can see the blades painted yellow. Looks good. Doesn't have the kind of like dinosaur head that's kind of built into this part of the the sword. But it still looks cool. It's simplified, but I think it looks good. He has no problem equipping it. You just pop it right in his hand very simply. I think it looks great. Really happy with this. He comes with Ninjor. This is amazing. I am so pumped we got Ninjor. Now, I will say I'm more of a fan of the other head of Ninjor, but I don't care. It's still an amazing figure. Excellent detail, excellent paint applications, all the same articulation you'd expect. He's got a morpher for some reason. He's not even a ranger. He's like a ranger ally, so I don't know what they're doing. But he also comes with a sword. They would have got bonus points if you could have somehow put her on his back. That would have been the ultimate for me. Just maybe like a little peg hole right here and just a little peg right there. And you could have pegged it onto his back. Would have been amazing. I'll forgive him. It's still a great figure. but that would have been like the icing on the cake for me. But amazing. Gold trim all the way around, silver all the way around, no skimping out on paint. Fantastic Ninjor figure. I am so excited for this. So now let's move on to these two. We have another Dino Thunder member with Kira. Again, paint applications looking fantastic. Gold trim all the way around. Nice sharp gold paint. Again, stupid Mighty Morpher. I'm not really sure why that is, but she gets one of the Terra Grips, and it doesn't look exactly the same as I remember the Terra Grips, but it's close enough. It's kind of just meant to look like a gun, I think, because she's kind of got a holster molded in here, as you can see. But again, excellent articulation. Everything's painted very nicely. She's got the same articulation as anyone else. Why is... I don't know. This one... I don't like that. This one turns fine. This one's probably just, like, stuck. There it goes. I'm really... Sometimes with these kind of figures, when there's a joint where it's stuck, you're afraid you're going to break the pin inside, and you just don't want to do it. But there it goes. Now it's working. So, yeah. She looks great. Very happy. I have 2 Dino Thunder members. I need Connor, so Hasbro, get on that. Here is... I'm just going to call him Gavatieri de Carnival. I'm not trying to be an elitist or anything. I just don't remember. It was something very generic, like Dino Supercharge mode or something. It probably was that. Again, weird morpher. Now, he doesn't have the shoulder out to the side hinge. I think because of the weird shoulder pads. But he's got all the other articulation. Well, the head doesn't even really swivel, actually. I mean, it swivels side to side, but not front to back. So it's more of a swivel than a ball joint. And he's got the same waist and wrist movement, just not the out to the side shoulders. Now, he doesn't have the yellow on the back, so maybe this guy was really intensive in the paint applications with the helmet, and so that's why they had to skimp out a little bit. I feel like really only this side of it should be painted yellow, but they did the belt all the way around, they did the legs all the way around, so I'll forgive him. Still looks great. Now, this weapon, I'm assuming, is supposed to be the morpher and the sword, hooked together, but it just looks very generic and strange. Like, this is obviously the blade from the sword, so this part would be the morpher, but it doesn't look... I mean, maybe they didn't want to, like, paint half of it gray and half of it yellow, so they just figured we'll mold the whole thing out of gray and just paint the blade. Either way, it's a cool weapon. It's just not really screen accurate, or not even really sure what it's trying to be, but it still looks good. I'm happy with it. I love these figures. Really well done. Also, here is, because I just happen to have him, here is the Silver Ranger from Dino Charge from the blind bags. So you can get a sense of what these guys look like next to each other. About the same size. Obviously not as good a paint apps. Pretty decent. I mean, he does have the yellow on both sides, which I appreciate. But he's only got a very basic arm swivel. And no waist bend, no head movement. So these 2-pack figures are definitely a higher caliber than the blind bags. I mean, they still look good together, so you can bolster your ranks. But I'm definitely going to be getting at least every 2-pack and Zord figure because they're much nicer and much more articulated. But very, very cool. So, I mean, I still like having this guy, don't get me wrong. But these are just a cut above. And I absolutely love them. Oh, he knocked... Come on, Ethan. You got to learn how to balance this bike if you're going to ride it, pal. No? No, he's not going to. So I wanted to see real quick if these all have magnets in their feet as well. I'm going to go ahead. Now, I don't expect that the blind bag figures do because they can't even bend their waist. But let's see. There we go. So it does. All these figures, let's try one other. Let's try Ninjor. Ninjor riding around a giant wolf. So we'll be able to see if when we put this in, yeah, if it makes the red thing move, we'll know that it has magnets. Yeah, it absolutely does. So that's cool. So that means all of these quote-unquote like deluxe figures that actually have a bend at the waist have magnets in their feet. Probably anytime you see these 2 little dots on the side would mean that they have the magnets in their feet. So that's really cool. I really appreciate that. That means you can use these action features with any of these deluxe figures. It makes sense why these are a little bit more expensive than the blind bag figures. Honestly, I feel like the blind bag figures should be even less expensive. because for $5 you're getting all this paint, all this articulation, and the magnets in their feet for the battle features. That's a good deal. These are really solid figures, and that's really awesome in my opinion. All right, I got Ethan to balance for a minute. Got to hurry up before he falls over again. I can't recommend these enough. If you're a fan of tiny Imaginext/Playskool style figures, these are fantastic. The blind bags are okay, and I understand why they wanted to put out more quickly to just get a bunch out there, so they're like a little bit cheaper, a little bit lower quality, and they're okay. But these are cut above. Fantastic paint applications, fantastic articulations. You have the magnets for the different features. The little Raptor Cycle is amazing. Excellent paint. I love the Raptor mode. I love the Cycle mode. I can't gush about these enough. I definitely recommend them. The only thing I complain about with any of these is the weird Mighty Morphin morpher that they all seem to have on their wrist. I think that's a weird call. Like I said, I'm wondering if they're going to maybe they're going to do some kind of like chibi cartoon with these, the way they did with like Superhero Squad or something like that. And so they'll want them all to be like quote unquote on the same team, which is why their morphers are the same. I'm grasping at straws, I'm sure, but it could be neat. I don't know. Maybe I made that up. I'm sure I did. Anyway, the figures are great. The morpher's weird, but the figures are great. I can't recommend them enough. Definitely pick them up. I love them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.